So let me take you through how the process went. My interview appointment was for 6:30 a.m. Of course, I've been waiting for this for 3 years. So I had to be early. I didn't want to get late. So I got there at around 5:30 a.m. Of course, I had to wait for them to open up the gate and start things moving. And they started things at around 6:30. So anyway, I went, at the checkpoint, and they asked for my passport. And they also asked for Mikey's passport because I'd carried Mikey with me. He's my number one evidence, of this relationship between me and his dad. I of course had to carry him. So I was surprised when they asked for his passport because unlike he's not part of the interview. Like he doesn't have an appointment, and they're like, yeah, but we still need to identify him. And I was like, oh, thank God I carried his passport. So if you're tagging a child along, please remember to bring the identification documents. Could be passport or birth certificate. And then they don't allow people to escort you. They don't allow that. So anyway, after checkpoint, of course, with your bags, you need not to have charger, earphones, earpods, flash discs, anything like that. They just allow your handbag or the baby's bag with just documents and maybe food for the baby, and they have to see that it's food, okay? And no laptop or tablets or iPads, nothing. So just your phones. I had two phones, and they accepted my two phones. They accepted to store my two phones, so not a problem. So just in case you happen to have those things that you're not supposed to carry, they'll ask you to take them outside, and you'll be wondering, okay, so where do I take them? And I'm going in for my interview. So there are people who stand there and they charge you to store your things. So most of them charge 300, 400 to store your things. So you could use that. That's the only option you have anyway. Of course, after did the security check, we went in, and after like 30 minutes, I was called to counter 9. And this lady, asked for my civil documents, passport, birth certificate, marriage certificate. Yeah, birth certificate, passport, marriage certificate. I also gave them the police clearance certificate. And then she started asking me questions like, who is in the US? Of course, I told her, what does he do? Is this his first marriage? Is this also your first marriage to him? Is the child you're carrying his child? Does he have any other kids? How did he go to the US? Yeah, and I answered those questions to the best of my knowledge. I think we've already gone through the questions that they can ask, and you can see it's almost similar, yeah? So she asked also if I have any criminal records and if my husband has criminal records, and of course, I answered that. Then after that, she gave me a pamphlet about domestic violence, and the rights of immigrants in the US, concerning domestic violence. And she asked me to wait outside as I'm reading that, and they will call me in a few minutes. And so, of course, stepped outside, and I sat and waited. So after like 20 minutes, I was called again to counter another window now. And now this time round, it was a Mzungu guy, a white guy who was asking the questions. So of course, he asked what my name is, who is in the US, how we met, when we met, is this our first marriage, do we have kids together, is the child I'm carrying his child. He asked for documents of the child, his birth CRBA, child report of birth abroad. It's like a birth certificate. Then he asked how many times we've met physically with my husband now that we met online. I told him that. He asked if we have any criminal records, if I've been in any problem with the police, and I said no. So I'd applied for a visit visa in 2019, but through my auntie. So he asked about that. He asked if I'd gone to visit my husband, and I was like, no. But had you met by the time you're applying the visit visa? I said yes. So they have all these records in the system. You don't dare lie. Just speak the truth. Yeah. And then from there, he started, making some few notes on his laptop. And he mentioned that I'm waiting for one electronic verification, but I don't foresee any problem. But you should have your visa in your passport back with the visa in 2 weeks. And so at this point, I'm panicking because I'm like, what electronic verification is he, waiting for? And so I'm, already panicking because he's not giving me like any pamphlet. So he takes the green pamphlet and he gives it to me. He says, on paper, your visa is approved. In case of anything, we'll contact you, but don't book your tickets. He actually said that twice. He said, don't go ahead to book your plane ticket yet until you get the visa. And I was like, okay. So he gave me the green paper, and At this point, I'm confused because I don't know if I should be happy or, not, because he said on paper your visa is approved and he gave me the green paper. But like there's that electronic verification that needs to be done. So I didn't know how to react. I just smiled and I was like, okay, thank you. So I'm free to go. He said, yes, you're free to go. So he was left with my passport. And of course, he gave me the green pamphlet. This is how it looks like. So when I was leaving and I'm stepping outside, like the guards are looking at me and they're like, you have the green paper. Why do you look sad? And I'm like, you'll not understand. And so the guards are like, as long as you have that green paper, everything is good. The problem is if they give you the yellow paper. I was like, oh, okay. So of course we left the embassy and I was so eager to get to my husband. So stay tuned for now when I tell my husband. This has been a long wait. Today marks exactly 3 years, 1 month. Yeah, it's been a long road, but finally, it's ending and I'm happy. We're happy. My husband is happy. And yeah, we're excited. So in case you have any questions, please feel free to write them down in the comment section. I'll try and answer as much as possible. But also go and watch my previous vlogs because this is a series and you only understand once you follow it from the start to the finish. And all the best if you are in the process. All the best. Just prepare and the rest will fall into place. So disclaimer, all the work that I did, all the evidences that I carried, all the photographs, all the charts, all the money, trails that my husband had sent me, they did not ask for them. The financial documents, they didn't ask for them. But I also think it's because I uploaded them on the CEAC account. So by the time that I'm getting to the interview, they've already gone through my documents and really they don't need to ask me for it. So don't watch this and be like, oh, I'm not going to post any evidence. I'm not going to carry any evidence. No, when you don't carry, that's when they ask. So you'd rather, like I said, remember with this process, be over prepared rather than being under prepared. You'd rather have everything and they don't ask for it as opposed to not have and they ask for it. So me, they did not ask for anything else aside from my civil documents and our son's documents. And that was it. So I'm happy. Finally happy to be ending this agony, this long wait. Yeah.
I did a lot of bad things, and never did I give in. Just 'cause the thought of being vulnerable made me feel less than I am. I have never felt home till you entered my door, and from that moment I knew that a home is whatever you choose. That's the thing about you. The best thing I did, and I want you to know, was letting you in. From that moment I knew that you were all I missed. Baby, it took just
Guys, I just called my husband to tell him about the visa and the pickup. And by the time he picked up the phone, I just couldn't speak. And I just started crying. And he started crying too. I think we just waited for so long that it sounds like it's not happening. Yeah. So we had to take a break. We'll proceed. He'll call me back. He got emotional and he's at work. So we'll speak after 20 minutes. Hopefully.
many years have gone by, many tears have dried out. I know that I will be with you as long as you still want me to. All the things we've been through, took charge.